Hello. We're continuing our conversation on maternal health with a new program designed to extend health care for moms beyond the hospital doors. We'll tell you how pharmacies are playing a role. And Pittsburgh is getting ready for the 2026 NFL Draft. We'll tell you about one of the new spaces being created as a civic space in downtown Pittsburgh. Plus, we're talking to the new president of the African American Chamber of Commerce of Western Pennsylvania. He's sharing his ideas to help local business owners grow and create jobs. So pull up a chair and meet us at the corner. Intersection starts right now. I'm Lisa Smith, the Director of Community Impact at KDKA Plus and the host of Intersections. Last week, we told you about legislative efforts in Pennsylvania to improve maternal health, especially for Black moms. Now, we're learning about a new program that also works to provide care and resources to pregnant and new mothers, and it's coming through independent pharmacies. It's a program called Momentum, which stands for Maternal Outreach through Mobile Engagement, Navigation, Testing, and Unified Medicine. Joining us to share more about this effort is Kelsey Lynn. She is the Manager of Pharmacy Care Management at Highmark Whole Care. And we also have Stephanie McGrath. She is the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Pharmacist Care Network. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, yeah, this is such an important topic. Like I said, this is our second week following this. So, Kelsey, first of all, just tell us a little bit about Highmark Whole Care. What exactly is it, and how is it getting involved in this effort?
Sure. Highmark Whole Care is a managed care Medicaid plan that operates in 2 territories in Pennsylvania. And we're getting involved in this because we see statistically that women in Pennsylvania are dying from pregnancy-related complications at a rate that is 3 times the national average. We also know from experience that being a new mom is really hard, and when you add the stresses of finding food and transportation to appointments and to the pharmacy to pick up your prescriptions, it's no wonder that the health of moms and the infants that they're caring for can fall through the cracks. So we really wanted to get involved and meet moms where they are to provide them with the support that they need so that they can ultimately prioritize their health and the health of their babies.
Yeah, and this is actually piggybacking off of a program you already have where you're trying to help people who are having some issues maybe with some of the social determinants of health.
Certainly, yeah, it's very important to us at Whole Care to address the social determinants of health. People need support where they live, where they eat, how do they get transportation, and we know that all of those things can affect someone's ability to receive health care. If you're worrying about those things, it's not very easy for you to figure out how are you even going to get to the doctor. Those stresses really impact people's health. We know that, and that's something that we keep in mind when we're building these programs, because that's exactly what we want to address.
Yeah. So Stephanie, tell us why pharmacists are the right people to be able to interact with these moms and really see some of the things that they need to address.
Yeah, absolutely. Pharmacists are consistently rated as one of the most trusted healthcare providers, and nationally and locally here in Pennsylvania as well. We have 200 community pharmacy locations across the state. 110 overlap with Highmark Whole Care regions that will be involved with this program. They're mostly independently owned, have been in their communities for decades, sometimes centuries of history, and the people that work in the pharmacy really care about their communities. That's where they live and work and go to school, and they understand people, the people that come into the pharmacy. And through this program, the pharmacists, because of their accessibility to people that live in these communities, they're open, the pharmacy itself is open nights, weekends, offers another access point for healthcare delivery. Really, they're another access point for the healthcare system, and so through this program, our pharmacists are able to ask questions of the new moms or expecting moms and be able to identify what needs they may have. You mentioned social determinants of health is a big one, but also to talk with them about their medication-related needs, vaccine-related needs, and triage them or refer to resources within the health plan. So we've spent a lot of time getting to know what resources the health plan offers as well. And our pharmacists are able to make connections to care that most people don't know anything about the resources that exist.
Yeah. So is there some training also, though, that goes into getting the pharmacists ready to take this on?
Absolutely, absolutely. So with any of our programs, we build standardized evidence-based training that prepares them to know some of the items that pregnant women need to consider for their health. And so some of the things that are included in the training are blood pressure taking, so how to take a blood pressure, what to do with that reading, when to refer them to another healthcare provider. Blood pressure management is very important throughout the whole course of your pregnancy and after the baby's born. Talking with people about blood sugar as well, their vaccines, how to have some of these hard conversations too with people. We also include that in the training, and so we support the pharmacists throughout the process. And so as they're coming up with challenges, or gosh, this person identified a need and we don't have it in our community, well, where can we get that need? And then we work closely with the health plan to try to figure that out in an iterative, ongoing type of way.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before, and one of the areas that this could help with is recognizing signs of domestic violence, right? So, Kelsey, how does that kind of fall into some of the things that the pharmacists are looking for?
So we have a standardized questionnaire that the pharmacists are working through when they're engaging with our members. And I actually think that that's one of the more unique parts of this program. It's something that we have pharmacists that they're doing that we might not necessarily think that it's within like a typical scope. You know, most people think pharmacists are just dispensing medications, but as Stephanie mentioned, they're trusted. They have relationships with the members and their patients in their community. And during these SDOH screenings, that's something that could potentially be identified as someone feeling maybe unsafe in their home and needing help with that. And the pharmacists are then enabled to either seek out a community-based organization to connect a member with directly, or they can refer their that individual back to the health plan, and then we will ensure that they get connected with a maternity care manager on our side to help then take that a step further and get them the help that they need.
Yeah, and so how do patients or maybe loved ones of patients find out which pharmacists are participating in this program?
Sure. We have a website that we can share. Okay. You can put in your zip code, address, and find a pharmacy near you that is offering the services for this program.
Yeah. And we were talking last week, not with you guys, in another group, but they were talking about, people are really nowadays looking at so many different kinds of care for their pregnancies. Like they're looking for doulas and things like that. Are you guys able to assist with that as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, at Whole Care, we have so many things that we can offer to our moms and moms-to-be. So this is during pregnancy and postpartum. And I just want to clarify that this program is available for moms that are up to 12 months postpartum too. We provide access to doulas. We can provide meals that will be sent to their home after they are discharged from the hospital after delivery. We can connect them with transportation resources. Additionally, we have strategic partnerships with certain community-based organizations like the Mid-Atlantic Mothers Health Milk Bank, the Western Pennsylvania Diaper Bank, and also Healthy Start. We really feel that having relationships with those organizations in the community helps us drive those resources back to our members. And we're always looking for new things, and Momentum is really just a great example of that.
Well, thank you both so much for coming and sharing this really vital information. And we'll make sure that we get on the screen the website that people can go to find out more information. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, coming up, as Pittsburgh prepares for the NFL draft, we'll hear the details around the multi-million-dollar Arts Landing project. Intersections will be right back. Well, several areas of Pittsburgh are under construction right now as the city prepares to host the 2026 NFL Draft. One of those large projects in the works is downtown in the Cultural District. It's called Arts Landing, and it will stretch along Fort Duquesne Boulevard between 8th and 9th Streets. It's a $31 million project that is expected to create a new art-inspired green civic space downtown. Here to tell us more about the project are Anastasia James. She is the Director of Galleries and Public Art with the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. And we also have James Hill, the Director of Government Affairs and District Initiatives, also with the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. So glad to have you both with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is really exciting, right?
It is very exciting.
Yeah, so James, tell us a little bit about how this all kind of came about.
Well, you know, I think the Cultural Trust has for a few years been looking at a refined and more intentionally designed space for its festivals. There's so many festivals throughout the city, from, of course, the Three Rivers Arts Festival, Picklesburg, et cetera, and so forth. And for many years, a lot of those events have been taking place at Point State Park, which is a lovely space. We all love to be there, but it was never really designed for what we ask of it.
Yeah.
You know, with band experiences and things like that becoming more advanced, the Cultural Trust was really hoping to find there could be a permanent space. Lo and behold, like a lot of things, post-pandemic, you're just not doing the things you used to do.
Yeah.
And there was a large plot of space in the Cultural District that had several development proposals that had fallen apart over the years. And we thought, you know, given the new reality that we all face, the way downtown is moving towards residential, how we need a purpose-built space for our events, this might be the perfect plot of land to have a wonderful new park space for the district.
Yeah. So Anastasia, tell us a little bit about the space and how it's going to be artistically designed.
Absolutely. As you know, the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust has a long history of working with artists in the public realm. And we're excited to announce that in 2026, we'll be working with 12 contemporary artists to design public artworks for Arts Landing. All of these artists will have strong ties to the Pittsburgh region and should stay tuned for a full announcement of the artist list coming in June.
That's a call to tease, thank you. But one project that you actually can talk about is this bench project, where, well, I'll let you explain it because it involves a lot of people and you're looking for people. So tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely. One of the projects that we can announce is a project with the contemporary visual artist Vanessa German. Her project is titled Lifted, and it will take the form of a series of park benches that will honor Pittsburgh's elders. In order to complete this project, we are seeking individuals in Pittsburgh who are over the age of 100, and we are hoping to trace their hands. And those hand tracings will become the basis of the designs for Vanessa German's benches. We're working with a number of community centers and libraries and churches, but we also encourage viewers, if they have a friend or a family member who meets this criteria, to submit their tracings online at trustarts.org, where there are instructions on how to submit these drawings digitally.
Wow. Wow. Do you guys have any idea how many you would like to see, or does she rather have an idea of how many she would like to see be able to be part of this at this point, or does it just depend on what we get?
As many as possible.
Yeah.
We've already had a few submissions, and we've had a lot of people come forward to identify themselves. So we hope to engage with as many individuals over the age of 100 as possible.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. It really does. So let's talk a little bit about some of the different spaces that are going to be part of Arts Landing. So one area is called the Great Lawn and Band Shell.
Yes.
Is that the main area?
Yeah, that's going to be the main area that people are going to be able to interact with. The entire site is about 4 acres, and in the heart of that, we're going to have kind of the main event space or amphitheater experience that you have in a lot of these concert spaces. So towards the far end of the space along Fort Duquesne Boulevard, we'll have a band shell, and then there'll be a large several-acre great lawn that kind of tears back towards Penn Avenue. What makes it really special and something we're really excited about is it's actually going to have a slope up from Fort Duquesne Boulevard. So presently the site is all flat, but we're actually going to build up the land a little bit, so you're going to have that great terraced experience up for performances looking down to the band shell. And it's actually going to be just high enough that we've been joking you're going to see just a little bit of the river. And when this all comes together, the way that area is framed with the Warhol Bridge, with the Carson Bridge, and PNC Park in the background, you don't have any public spaces that really have any elevation from downtown looking out at the rivers.
Yeah.
And you know, for many years, getting back to the riverfronts and re-engaging them has been a part of our mission at the Cultural Trust for many decades, as well as general civic projects all across downtown.
Yeah, that sounds great. There's also a garden walk. You want to share about the garden walk?
Absolutely. The garden walk is a way for visitors to kind of navigate through the park on an elevated walkway. The park itself is being designed by the New York-based firm Field Operations. I think many people are familiar with New York City's High Line, kind of this just beautiful area where you can traverse a park, which will also be activated with a number of public sculptures, which is really exciting for us.
Yeah, it all sounds beautiful. One more area I think we can talk about, the playroom.
Yes.
What is the playroom?
So it's funny, when you think of things that, if you ask our visitors to the Cultural Trust, guests downtown, we did a lot of surveying on this, and the two things people asked for a new space downtown when we talked about a new park-like setting were public restrooms and a playground. And those aren't necessarily, I think, the things that people traditionally associate with downtown, but again, in the way things have changed and how we view ourselves as always being in service of the public's needs, downtown's turning residential. Families are coming downtown for theater shows at the Benham and the Byam or for a Pirates game, and they need a place to play.
Yeah.
And particularly as more residential stuff comes online downtown, if you have a young family or even if you're just a guest at a hotel, we really don't have many spaces downtown where you can take a child to just kind of get their energy out. The point is, you take a Frisbee or a ball down, but we wanted to have this play space that was pretty critical to the downtown community to give future residents, families, and children a great space just to play. Of course, being the Cultural Trust, it's going to be artsy and well-intentionally designed, so it's going to be a very cool space to look out as well. And then, of course, right across the street from Arts Landing is the Pittsburgh Public Schools Kappa School.
Right.
So we're going to have so many students who are in the downtown community that will be able to use this space.
Okay. Well, we didn't get to really the NFL draft. We don't know. You guys don't know yet whether or not that will be utilized, but it will be ready.
It will be ready. It's been a great deadline for everybody, I think, to really rally behind a project and have a firm ending of next June. The NFL, of course, is notoriously intense, so they're keeping things pretty lock and key, but everybody's been giving marching orders just to be prepared to maybe host something next spring. So we're looking forward to Arts Landing being ready to go.
Yes, and again, it looks beautiful. The renderings are beautiful, and we have the information on your screen. If you know someone who's 100 or over, they can go to this website to find out more information on how to submit their hand drawing. Thank you both so much for being with us. We really appreciate it, and we'll definitely stay in touch over the next year.
We're happy to be here. My grandma's only 93, though, so she doesn't get to participate.
Not quite, but later. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, coming up, new plans and new leadership for the local Chamber of Commerce. Intersections. We'll be right back. Well, for more than 30 years, the African American Chamber of Commerce of Western Pennsylvania has been helping businesses throughout the region with networking and resources. Now, after more than 25 years, the Chamber has a new president. Beretta Bay took over leadership in January. He already has some major plans for the Legacy Pittsburgh organization. And so Beretta Bay joins us now along with Tamara Abney, and she is the Vice President of Community Relations and Outreach for Entrepreneurs Forever. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So, Beretta, tell us a little bit about how, obviously the Chamber has been around for a while, but it's evolving. It's going through some evolution. So tell us a little bit about some of the things that are happening now with the Chamber.
Yeah, so it's exciting times at the Chamber. Internally, we made some changes. So we incorporated a new CRM system to manage the 675 plus members that we have. We changed our website. We implemented a digital newsletter. So those are some of the internal things that we've done. Externally, we are all about collaborating with key partners that help us implement new programming through our Business Institute. We did a relaunch of the Business Institute with the help of Citizens Bank backing us on that, so we were appreciative of that. And so some of this new programming is really focused on helping entrepreneurs advance in terms of creating jobs, giving them the opportunity to explore other ways to scale and grow, and then also providing additional wraparound services like mentoring and some additional supports that they need to be successful.
Yeah. So Tamara, how does Entrepreneurs Forever work with the Chamber?
We are just so excited to be a key partner to the African American Chamber. We have a long-standing relationship together, so we were really happy when Beretta came on board and we were able to bring all of the power of Entrepreneurs Forever and our peer learning platform to the Business Institute. So being able to work with entrepreneurs inside of the chamber and the Business Institute, because hopefully we'll be able to attract even people that aren't members of the chamber. We want them to grow their businesses. We want them to employ people and to really strengthen the economy overall.
No, I know, we talk about growing businesses, and I know in a lot of cases, they're small businesses and they don't have a lot of employees, so tell us how you help those smaller businesses take that next step.
Yeah, so a key component of that is what we found out through the conversations with these small businesses, is that we have to sort of change the mindset. A lot of them, a lot of the entrepreneurs that are running a business, they're working in it. And so we're trying to help them transition to working on it. And that's different, being a true CEO, thinking about the strategy, thinking about the long game, and what does that look like for them. And so for us, it really is about, providing those wraparound services, having a lot of intimate conversations about what their true needs are, so that we're not in a position to be telling them what we think they need. Tell us what you need, and we'll figure out how to get you there.
Mm-hmm. Did you do any surveying of the members to kind of get an idea of some of the things that they were looking for from the chamber?
Yeah, that's a great point. We actually do. We provide surveys to find out exactly what's the ROI for you, right? I don't want to tell you that. You tell me, and if we're not meeting that, then we'll work hard to make sure that we get to where you need us to be.
Yeah. With Entrepreneurs Forever, what you do, it seems to really match what the chamber is doing. Mm-hmm. So how do you guys make sure you're not stepping on each other's toes in terms of how you're trying to help different businesses?
Yeah, I think we're really here as a support to the Business Institute. We do one thing only. We put together small businesses into peer groups so they can utilize the power of peer learning. So basically the things that they would learn in their Entrepreneurs Forever peer group, they can take to, chamber mixers, or they can utilize it in other ways. Mm-hmm. So we're definitely not competitive. We're complementary, and it's really a added benefit to being a chamber member or a part of the businesses to be able to have the opportunity to be in a Entrepreneurs Forever peer group.
Yeah. So right now, there's a lot happening to businesses, involving businesses. Tariffs have come up a lot. Are you hearing from your chamber members that they're concerned about tariffs, or how tariffs could impact their bottom line?
Yeah, actually we are. That's a major focus for a lot of our members. The concern that it's going to impact their supply chain, right? And then taking those additional costs and passing that on to the consumer. They're still trying to figure that out. What does that look like for them? And so that's always going to be an ongoing challenge until we actually see the dust settle and we know where we stand with that.
All right. Well, I thank you both so much for coming and sharing everything that's happening, and please keep us posted so we can have you back again.
Will do.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And I'll have my last word when we come back. That's all our time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.